think we're here. Hi, everybody. Thanks for jumping over. If you were at the Stuttering John podcast that I was just having with the Major and him, and hi, everybody. And sorry, I've been kind of out of the loop because I've just arrived in. I got in yesterday to Tallahassee, and then I had to get up this morning and have a rapid COVID test, even though I've been vaccinated. And then I've got rehearsals tonight and craziness. And I was trying to get the internet working and stuff, but I just wanted to hop on and yeah, everybody. Guilty. It's so nice when your eyes line up with reality, wouldn't you say? Isn't that a nice thing when you finally go, that's how I saw it. I looked at it and went guilty as fuck. And it's nice when they all, kind of work together in that regard. Let me bring up my chat room over here so that I can see you guys. And there we go. Put this up here. There you go. Oh, I don't want to look at it. I don't understand. Like, try to do it in cars that, verify. There you go. So yeah, huge. Am I as wet as I look? No, I just have more mousse in my hair than normal. If only because it's very frizzy here. This is very frizzy. It's a very frizzy part of the country. Being here in Tallahassee, it's frizzy country. It's very moist. The floors here are tacky. I mean, not just style wise. I mean, when you walk, they go a little bit, and I feel like I'm in a like I'm living in a movie theater. Hi, hey everybody, hello. What good to see you. Yes, it can be very frizzy. So let me pop this out so I can see where you guys are, and then we will. I'm going to, just so you know. Sorry if the schedule's been a little bit off, and obviously we were all following this stuff, and I wanted to hop on and just kind of, I've got a few minutes. I'm just going to jump on for like 20 minutes and say hi to you guys, and then I will be back after I have my first rehearsal tonight, and then I will, starting tomorrow, kind of have a regular time when I can do my show. I'm on East Coast time, and our regular evening rehearsals fall right into the window of where I would normally be. So I'll figure out over the course of this week, we'll play with it a little bit, whatever works the best for everybody. And I'm just, the nice thing is that you guys are, we get to see people all over the world reacting to the Chauvin trial, and it's a beautiful thing. So I noticed a bunch of people mentioning that, triple guilty. My hands felt just like two balloons. So yeah, seriously, I'm gonna lock him the F up. Like kids, there we go. Justice feels like yes, it does feel like where were you when? Can I tell you a little inside stuff? I dreamt today years ago, and I thought this dream had already happened. It's very strange, but since I was 11 years old, I've had dreams where it's much heavier than deja vu. I'm very aware beforehand. This is as mystical as I get. And multiple times I've had situations where I wrote one of them down when I was 11, and it's like a school story, and it turned out to be my first day of shooting on Frog, the first acting job I ever had. And I dreamt parts of today. So this is one of those pivot days. You can just kind of tell. So, but yes, good one for 420. Didn't kill everybody's buzz. That's true. Scotland, I'm very thankful for you as well. I am. Bail was revoked. Yeah, I mean that was going to happen. That's what normally happens. There was no extraordinary circumstances where an appeal would be warranted or believed would have any legs at all. So he was, of course, remanded. That's a normal thing. It's kind of like move to dismiss. All criminal defense attorneys right out of the gate will move to dismiss as fast as they can, and then they will do multiple move to dismiss on, anytime something comes up and you're like, move to dismiss, we're moving to dismiss on this one thing, they're going to do that. The same thing is true of, revoking bail or asking for bail so you can stay out while they appeal. That never, and where you've been found guilty of 3 charges, 2 murder charges and a manslaughter, then you're not, no, sorry. You ain't walking around. You're going nowhere, buddy. Sorry, that's how shit works. So, Chauvin will probably rot in jail, as entirely possible. So yep, we're getting a lot of people saying justice, right? And rightly so. I can understand that, and it's what it feels like. It's great. It really is. And it seems to be indicative of a tide shifting, and that's wonderful. One guilty verdict is in full justice. Battle should have been so hard fought. Double down, keep pushing. I agree, Jess, but you have to take this win as what it is. And the keep fighting part is valuable when these things come up. But you also have to know when, you know, what are you fighting at this point? If the system's actually working in your favor, then it's not a fight necessarily. It's that this must be consistent. We will work to make this consistent, and that's the goal. A show of us framed. Tonight on Tucker Carlson, yeah. No, I think these guys, I think they'll all go that Chauvin deserved it and should go to jail to give themselves a pass for forgiving other people. Let's not forget. They're going to use this as well. Yeah, obviously that guy was bad. But, you know, not these guys, not these other folks, right? I did too, Jane. I was on with Stuttering John and stuff. I was starting to well up. I was like, am I going to have to bow out and, you know, while they're being all macho and start tearing up? And I can only, like I said, I can only imagine if I'm feeling that way, what the people who are in Minnesota and in Minneapolis felt. So we shall see what we shall see. But, you know, you know, it's a good feeling. And I feel like there is a responsibility in moments like this to take the win. And much like Biden, you know, not only winning, but also winning by the stretch that he did. And, you know, Harris being on his ticket and when he was sworn in, all these things where they're pushing so hard, they're fighting against it. Then when it happens, you just kind of go, well, it should happen. So therefore, no celebrating. No, when the idea is that there can be, you know, when you've lived, you know, through pain of stuff like that before, and you continue to see it happening, and then you reach a point where it seems to have lifted in those. Oh, thanks, Pauline. You have a responsibility, I believe, to celebrate justice when it comes along. You have a responsibility to feel hope and joy and pride and those, especially when they've been so muted and dragged. And the need, the sort of mildly nihilistic need to temper those feelings whenever they come up, has to be, there has to be pushback on that. There must be. So in those moments where justice is served and good is done, and there is something worth celebrating, you have I believe you have a moral responsibility to celebrate that, to say, yes, this is how it should be. The knee-jerk feeling that people have to temper those feelings all the time, in many ways, can mute and destroy the hope of it, and come with a, you're never going to be happy. There's no satisfying you people. There's no satisfying, you know, that crowd, this group, whatever. And you have to recognize you can't. It's like I had a friend a long time ago. I'll tell this story and then I got to bow out. I got to go to rehearsal, and I will be back on later on tonight, fairly late East Coast time. But please understand during these shifting days while I'm traveling. And yes, thanks to Darnella Frazier. Absolutely. I had a friend who had this kind of weird thing where she would go, I don't know how I can smile when there's so much sadness in the world. There's so much sorrow in the world. There's children starving, and how can anyone smile? And my response to her was, you're an egomaniac. To have all you have and the joy that you experience on a daily level and not to smile is to spit in the faces of people who wish they had. the joys and freedoms and moments like you're having right now. And to say that they're nothing and nothing and they're nothing, what kind of hope does that give to people who are still struggling? If it comes a lot with this whole, like, we live in a wealthy nation and now, and we should feel bad because there's, you should sort of walk with this sort of reverent sorrow all the time because there are people who are starving in the world. Those starving people don't dream of staying starving forever just so you can feel miserable. They have in their minds, if only I had enough to eat, if only I had enough a roof over my head and enough clothing, and then to be able to have a family and a relationship and all the things that go with it. And can you imagine they finally claw their way up through this, Shawshank level of shit. And what do they see? You miserable, even with all that stuff. What hope is there? If you can't even absorb the joy that's really in front of you, what good are you to those suffering in the world? Yes, seeing Chauvin let off in cuffs made me cheer. Agreed. Very much so. And somebody said, is it, hold on. What will Ben Shapiro say? Something very fascinating, this is the kind of thing that you would expect from these kind of people. And they're kind of doing this way they're doing. This is how they do it. I don't know. It's not really Ben Shapiro speaking, isn't it? Isn't it the Riddlin speaking at this point? Susan screamed and cried with joy. Understood. Frank. I tried to set up a Frank account and it kicked me off. I don't know what happened. Oh, Mary, thank you so much for the Venmo. Appreciate that. I do not have my Venmo up even, and that's very sweet of you to notice. Like I said, I have to bug out. I will be back later on. I just wanted to touch base with you guys and say that I'm glad we could all share in this moment of joy. It does not mean there won't be challenges coming, but you must breathe deep when something like this happens. Take it in. Appreciate it for the shift in life that it is. And that raises the chances that it will be precisely that. Thank you, Frank and Smithberry. Thank you for dropping over here after hopping this. So, yeah, the blue chat is very fast. It is a lot. It's a lot. This is what I look at while I'm doing it. So please understand if I'm missing out on some of that. So I will be back later. I'm going to set up my green screen over there. This is the guest room at the Airbnb that I'm at. So I'm going to set that up and I'll be able to stream with some relative normalcy. Fingers crossed. I was going to be able to do it this afternoon and then the internet went out and then it came back and I had to pull the internet. The thing was down there in the corner behind the bed over there. So I had to pull it out and literally reconfigure their modem. So yeah, here, I'll take the chat away in case that's driving you a little nuts. Sorry. And let's see. And there you go. I'll put this one up. Ta-da. So I thank you guys. Yeah, my hair is, I had to put more mousse in it because it was pow. So it was pow. Could be called In Bed with Hal. Yeah, we'll do a show like that. I'll move the whole thing in there. I'll give you a tour of this place day by day. We'll move part of this over so that I can talk to you guys, directly. There's a really funny part of this Airbnb that I'm just going to say, if I wanted to have a talk show in the 70s, this would be my set. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm going to say. I will show it to you guys and I'll try and set up a version of it in the other room. Maybe have like other cast members from the show sit down with me and do like interviews with them or a conversation about doing the play or whatever. That might be part of it. Although I am in Tallahassee, maybe I'll find a local, a state senator or some Republican here and have a big argument with him in the living room. Al with nice hair. Oh, thanks. So, so it's a little frizzy, just saying. And so I've had to put extra stuff in it to kind of keep it under control. All right, I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for understanding while I'm getting this kind of up and running, and I will see you later on this evening, guys. Thanks so much. And again, take the win. Go spread some joy. Go do some applause emojis on your favorite social media network. Send some hearts to people, that kind of stuff, because this could have gone so horribly wrong, and it did not. It did not. Life affirmed the better angels of our country today, and hopefully served as another example of, for the rest of the world again. And we're moving in that direction. We have a responsibility to keep moving in that direction. So, and one of those things, like I said, is to breathe it in and absorb it and be a part of that change. Be the change you want to see in the universe. What do you want to see? Misery and or do you want to see, yes, we celebrate this kind of thing, real, justice as best we have it. And the rest of them are going to get tried in August. The rest of the guys who were, in Chauvin's squad on manslaughter. So that will be the next round of this. And it's going to be important. And these guys are going to be very nervous over the next couple of months, considering that Chauvin was on his neck and he got that. These guys were on his back and they knew better. We'll talk about that when it comes. So anyways, much love to you guys. Thank you guys for your patience and your support. And I will see you guys later on tonight. Okay, bye.